Hello everyone, welcome to the purple classes of the Res Indica ICE Academy. Desh Badla Padhai Badlo. Today we'll be talking about again some of the very important schemes related to the agriculture, and today we'll be having lecture number 2, that is part 2 of the scheme of agriculture. And today we'll be talking about three more most important scheme, that is called Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, प्रधानमंत्री किसान सम्मान निधि योजना, प्रधानमंत्री किसान मानधन योजना. So these two important schemes that we are going to study today. Okay. So before understanding this scheme, while going ahead with that, first of all, if we are going to start with our Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, we should be first of all looking about the risk, because since Fasal Bima Yojana is related to insurance, so we should know meaning of risk. What is the risk, what type of risk, and now, or what are the things that are involved over here. Okay, so first of all, agriculture, is providing around 20% of the GDP of our country. Okay, obviously it is the largest employer. More than 50-55% people are engaged in the agriculture activities. Okay, and this agriculture is only providing the people with their own livelihoods, and most of the people, whether they are being fully engaged or half yearly engaged. Okay, so this is again being like people are working over there. People might be under the disguised unemployment or underemployment, right? You may find lot of people in the agriculture, but they may be not fully employed. But in the recent year, if we go by the statistics, we can see that the agriculture has provided a good amount of export earning to our country. Okay, so there is a impressive growth that we have seen in the last few years. Okay, but the issue is the average income of the farmer remain very low. Okay, we have a concept like doubling the farmer income by 2022, but because of COVID-19 years, like COVID-19 in 2020 and 21, so this target has been further postponed. Okay, so the agriculture is facing, and farmers are facing, their average income is low as compared to the other sector. Okay, and it is not only that income is low, but there is income uncertainty is also there. Okay, of agriculture household, which is very high. Sometimes it has a huge fluctuation. It is having a huge fluctuation in the market, because if the market price goes very high, and if the farmer income is very less, automatically the farmer will not be able to buy various type of things. Then farmer is also affected by the weather vagaries. Okay, and many other factors are there. Okay, now what are the type of risk and uncertainties that are being linked to farming activities? Okay, so Indian system is susceptible to droughts, risk like droughts, floods, hailstorm, cyclones, various other things are there. It depends on like which part of the country you are living, and then based on that you have a different type of risk are also there. Okay, so that is why there is a need to protect the farmer from these type of natural calamities. Okay, and also they should have a proper credit eligibility for the next season. So these things has to be kept in the mind. Only we can properly control our farming system, and then we can able to provide help to the farmer during the needy session. Okay, so like let's see what are the type of risk that are there. The first risk is economic uncertainties. Okay, because there is too much price fluctuation. there is too much price fluctuation that is happening, whether it is input price, whether it is output price. Okay, and during the time of a harvest, they do not get proper amount of revenues that has to be generated from the crop that they have grown. Then we have biological uncertainties, right? Rain, storm, droughts, okay, any kind of pest attack, any kind of disease attack, anything can happen. These are the natural uncertainties. Nobody will bring rain, nobody will bring droughts, nobody will bring pest or diseases like that. It happens. Okay, so again here also a huge amount of crop get destroyed, and farmers become so poor that they just go into the vicious cycle of poverty. Okay, because of that they lose a lot of money and they go into the vicious cycle of poverty. Okay, then we have a technological uncertainty. Okay, so there is a lot of technological improvement that are happening. Okay, so that means that the same level of input can now produce larger quantity of produce, right? Then there is always upward shift in the production function, more and more inputs, more and more output at every production level. Because of this technological project, you can have various type of high yielding variety seed, fertilizers, you can have harvester. Okay, new technologies, you can utilize better irrigation techniques and everything. Okay, so under this technological progress, these effect would be creating a delay operation in various type of workings. Okay, that means there is a law of diminishing marginal return that will be happening because we are utilizing the technology at a larger scale. So because of this improvement of the technology and a use of technological projects and in a continuous because this technological projects progress is a continuous phenomena. So in the coming future, it may lead some technique less efficient. Correct. Then production risks, obviously there is a lot of production risk, like if you have a standing crop, okay, all of a sudden there is a hailstorm, okay, all of a sudden there is a cyclone, a sudden rain, anything can happen, disease, pest attack can happen during that time, right? So and about the nutrition availability, like what type of nutrition are available, how much fertilizer has to be put. Okay, so farmer is not able to properly predict this and not able to predict a precise yield of your own field. Okay, then prices or market risk, input prices, like whatever we are putting as input and what price I am going to get outside. If onion in Maharashtra, the prices fell so badly that the farmer has to throw away the onion onto the roads and they have to go away, because the way they have produced, the amount of money they have spent, they are not even getting 1% of that money as a return on that. Okay, so the prices of the agriculture commodities are highly extremely volatile. It may be because of the natural reason, or it may be because of the artificial region, that means created any kind of market or volatile situation. Okay, and output price shock can happen because of both endogenous or exogenous market shocks. Anything can happen over there. Okay, then financial and credit risk. Now under the financial and credit risk, that whenever we are doing some work, we need certain kind of finance, right? So like the business needs financial help in the form of loans, Similarly, agriculture is of no exception. Agriculture production cycles are being spread over the long seasons. Okay, we have a rabi season, we have a kharif season, we have a zaid season. All are being spread along a longer time. Okay, long period of time frame are there. Okay, so farmer need certain working capital till their crops is getting ready. Okay, so because until and unless farmer is going to the market and selling the crop, he or she will not be able to raise the money. So there is a need for certain amount of expenses that has to be raised by the farmer for natural working of their cycle. Okay, so but that is the main issue with the farmer. Okay, so they are not able to get potential cash flow. Okay, either through insurance services or credit, because there's a high cost of borrowing, because most of the farmers are not having proper documentation, so they do not go to bank, so they go to money lenders. And once they go to the money lenders, they have to be under their own clutches. Okay, so that is why they are having a lot of issue related to the cash flows. Okay, so this is only known as the financial risk, because they are not having proper credit facility, they are not having proper insurance facilities and all those things. Okay, so insurance arrangement for crop and other agriculture are very less in our country previously. Okay, now we are coming into a very important scheme that is called Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Okay, so this is what a very important flagship scheme that has been launched by our government in order to cover the agriculture field under the purview of insurance. Okay, so this scheme was launched in 2016, and this scheme is administered by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. Okay, before that we were having two schemes. One is NAIS and MNAIS. NAIS means National Agriculture Insurance Scheme, that is the first one. Second one is Modified National Agriculture Insurance Scheme. Okay, these are the two important schemes that were running before the government came with the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Okay, so who all are the people who are eligible under that? Farmers, including sharecroppers, tenant farmer who are growing any of the notified crop, okay, in the notified areas, are eligible for the coverage. Close to all the farmers are eligible for Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Okay, anybody who is growing notified crops and notified area and who have insurable interest in the crops are eligible, right? So there was a lot of demand that has been there from the farmers, so now the scheme has been made voluntary, okay, to all farmer. That means voluntarily you can accept this scheme from the Kharif season of 2020. Now it has been made voluntary. Okay, earlier to Kharif season 2022, the enrollment in the scheme was compulsory for certain category. Okay, before 2020 Kharif season, earlier till Kharif season 2020, it was compulsory for following category. That means those farmer in a notified area who are having crop loan account, who are having Kisan credit card account, these are called as loany farmers. Okay, to whom credit limit has been sanctioned and renewed, because for them the government has asked them to make this Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana compulsory, because if by chance crop loss happen, so their crop loss, or if they have taken any loan for raising that crop, so that loss can be beared with the help of a Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana amount. Okay, and any such farmer which government may decide from time to time. And then voluntary coverage may be obtained by all farmer not covered above, including crop KCC, crop loan account, whose credit limit is not renewed. Okay, so here we have a farmers whose credit limit is being renewed, but it is voluntary for the farmers whose credit limit is not renewed. Okay, now objective of this Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, very important. It is to provide a overall insurance coverage and financial support to the farmer if by chance any event of failure of any notified crop happens. Okay, since we are talking about notified crops, so the notified crop is based on season. Like we have a rabi season. Under the rabi season, we can have a paddy is a notified crop, even wheat is a notified crop. Okay, we have a jowar is a notified crop, we have a bajra is a notified crop, maize is a notified crop, okay, etc. If we go by our kharif season, we have certain notified crops like again paddy here, correct, obviously, then maize, jowar, bajra, ragi. Okay, then we have a black gram, sunflower. Okay, sunflower, like that. Okay, then there are certain horticulture crops are also there that are called as notified crops, like we have cotton, we have sugarcane, we have banana, we have potato, we have ginger, okay, etc. are the horticulture notified crop. Okay, so these are called notified crop. There are a lot of many notified crops are there, but I have given you some to just have a proper view on that. Okay, so notified crop, if there is any issue or an event of a failure of this notified crop because of any natural calamity, pest attack, disease, or anything that is happening, for that is the main purpose of Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Then the second is to stabilize the income of the farmer. That means if there is any issue that is happening, so the farmer goes into the cycle of poverty. So in order to prevent the farmer to move to the cycle of poverty, this Fasal Bima Yojana is there, because now the farmer is going to be dependent on the insurance amount. If this insurance amount is being provided to the farmer, so the farmer will be able to live a respectful life. At the same time, farmer will be also continuing with the farming, because he knows that if any unprecedented event is happening, then my crop is covered properly. Okay, it is not like that if he has taken the money and he is on the vagaries of the nature. Okay, if nature attacks him in any of the way, then his whole crop is lost and now he is having nothing in his hand. Okay, so this Fasal Bima Yojana is also stabilizing the income of the farmer. It will also encourage the farmer to adopt various innovative and modern farming and agriculture practices. Okay, and it will also ensure flow of credit to the agriculture sector. Okay, now what is the premium that has to be paid under the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana? Okay, so government has kept a very minimal amount of a premium for Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. So there is a uniform premium of only 2% to be paid by the farmer for all kharif crop. Okay, so the amount of insurance amount that you wanted to take, 2% of that amount will be your premium for the policy of Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana under kharif crop, and 1.5% for all rabi crop. And if you are growing any type of horticulture or commercial crop, then you have to pay 5% premium. Okay, so these premium rates are very low, and whatever the balance premium amount is there, that will be paid by the government. Okay, so that it provide full insured amount to the farmer against any kind of crop loss on account of natural calamity. Okay, So there is no upper limit on government subsidy. Even if the balance premium is 90%, it will be borne by the government. That means even if you have taken the loan and because of certain reason you are not able to pay the premium amount, because you have paid certain amount but you are not able to pay the full amount, then even the balance premium will be borne by the government. There was a provision that earlier they have kept a provision that we will be capping on the premium. Okay, so this resulted in a long claim being paid to the farmers. Low claim being paid to the farmer. Okay, so the main reason why this capping was done to limit government outgo on a premium subsidy. Okay, because otherwise the government keeps on paying the premium for these crop loans. Okay, any farmer who, medium or small farmer who is having whatever land, they are taking insurance premium and they are trying to misuse the facility of the government. Okay, so now the capping has been removed and the farmer will get a claim against the full sum insured without any reduction. Okay, that means if you have any calamity that is stuck your field and you have not paid full premium amount, okay, even in that case also you will get full sum because your premium amount will be borne by the government. Okay, if the balance premium is 90%, it will be borne by the government. So there the capping has been removed totally. Okay, so here you can see this is a website of the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Okay, so here you can see we have four pop-up boxes are there. One is for farmer corner, one is to calculate the insurance premium calculator, then report crop loss over here, what is your application status, then technical grievances, then weather information services, right? So if you wanted to find out the premium that you have to pay for type of a crop in a season and regarding the land also, okay, so you can click over here, and this page will take you to this page. Okay, this is a insurance premium calculator account. So here you have to select the season. This is Rabi. You can also select Kharif season only. Okay, then year you can select 22-23, 22-23, like that. Then scheme Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, which state, Uttar Pradesh, which district, I have taken Ayodhya. Then crop is wheat, and amount of area, which is how much hectare area you are having, 5 acre. Okay, so by putting all these data inputs, okay, once you are able to put all these data inputs, then you click over here, this calculate button you put. Okay, after putting on the calculate button, you will be finding that there is a one company, IFCO Tokyo, who is insuring a sum of rupees, sum insured is 77,800. Farmer will be paying 1.5% and actual rate is 4%. That means 3% will be paid by your government. Okay, so if you have a 5 hectare of area, then you have to pay a premium of 5,835 and government will pay the premium of 9,725 and your sum insured will be 3,89,000 rupees. Okay, so this is what is the way through which this insurance premium calculator used to work. Okay, so this is how you can find out for every district, every places. Okay, here you can see if you have any, if all of a sudden any any event that has happened, like your hailstorm has happened or heavy rain happened, then you can have a sudden cyclone is coming, okay, like that. Okay, so your crop got lost. So in this portal here you can report your crop loss also. Okay, and then also you can see your application status over here. Okay, proper number is generated. Okay, application number will be generated and you can easily track your application. Okay, so this is how Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana work. Okay, now what type of risk are being covered over here? Okay, so if we go by the risk, first of all, it is a yield risk. Yield risk means crop is standing in a notified area basis. Okay, so crop cover yield losses due to unpreventable risk, right? Natural fire, lightning, storm, hailstorm, cyclone, typhoon, tempest, hurricane, tornado, risk due to flood, inundation, landslide, dry spells, pest. If because of any of these reasons your crop yield is getting lost, then you are eligible for taking the claim from the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Okay. In case where majority of the insured farmer have intent to show plant and incurred expenditure for the purpose are preventing from sowing planting the insured crop due to adverse weather shall be eligible for indemnity claim up to a maximum of 25% of the sum insured. That means if there is an area where most of the farmer have taken the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, they wanted to sow the plant, okay, and they have incurred expenditure for that purpose, but yet they are not able to sow and plant the insured crop because the weather conditions are not good. So you can also get indemnity claim up to a maximum of 25% of your sum insured. That is also a kind of a support that government is providing with the help of insurance company. Okay. Now, if you have a post harvest loss that is happening, okay, so coverage will be available up to a maximum period of 14 days from harvesting of those crops which are kept in cut and spread condition. That means you have cut it and you are keeping it simply like that condition to dry in the field. Okay, so during that time, if any kind of issues happen, then you can get a coverage will be available up to 14 days. Okay, if because of any rain or any fire or anything that cut and spread crop is getting destroyed, then also you will be getting up to maximum 14 days you can ask for a claim. Then for certain localized problems are there, loss damage resulting due to identified localized risk, hailstorm, landslide, inundation, okay, in the notified area would also be covered. So normally most of the things are being covered over here. Okay. Now, what is the unit of insurance that will be looked over there? If we are finding out like what is the unit of insurance that we are focusing on, okay, so it will be focusing on a area approach basis. So under the unit of insurance we have a area based approach. That means we have selected a big area. Okay, we have selected a big area where certain type of notified crop is grown. Like if we say wheat is grown, okay, that means most of the farmer who have taken insurance over there are being growing this notified crop wheat as that area. Okay, so that means there is a crop which face similar risk exposure of all the farmers in that notified area. Okay, they have their own identical cost of production per hectare and they also earn comparable farm income per hectare, okay, like that. Okay, so that will be called as a area approach basis, okay, in the notified area. So this is how one thing we are going to find out. Then what is the meaning of a defined area? That means a unit area of insurance maybe is a village panchayat level, okay, whatever the name that are there over there. So maybe because of the major crop or any other crop which may be of unit of size above the level of village panchayat level. Okay, so the unit of insurance can be a geo-fenced, geo-mapped region having homogeneous risk. अब जैसे क्या what we are going to do? If this is having, we are having 200 hectare of land. Okay, now it is very difficult to map that land properly. So you can have a geo-fencing you can raise. You can also geo-map this 200 hectare of area, and if any problem comes, automatically the information will be transferred for this 200 hectare over there. Okay, so this area is having a homogeneous risk profile. Homogeneous means if any part of this is facing hailstorm, that means in this 200 hectare area, this whole area will be facing the hailstorm similarly. Okay, so this is what is called as a defined area. Then we have a risk of localized calamity. Like sometimes what happens is that you can have a localized calamity that is happening, maybe rain, hailstorm, or any other thing that is happening. Okay, so here for low assessment shall be the affected insurance field of individual farmer can be also looked. Okay, so this is area based approach. Here defined area, full big area, but here we have a localized approach. Okay, here we have a localized approach. Now, this is what the calendar of event of Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Like loaning period and loany farmer are covered on compulsory basis April to July, October to December, Kharif season and Rabi season they are focusing here. So based on these three seasons, like we have a like if farmer wanted to get a loan, okay, so there is a cutoff date of 31st July, and for Rabi you have a 31st December as a cutoff date for proposal receipt of proposal of farmer. Okay, by 31st July they can opt for the insurance for the Kharif season, and for Rabi season for 31st December they can opt for the loan amount. For the insurance amount. Okay, and cutoff of the receipt of the yield data, okay, within the month from the final harvest. Okay, final harvest happens in March, then by April, till April you can provide the cutoff date of the yield data. Okay, here also the same, right? So this is the calendar of activity under Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Now, what is the use of technology they are utilizing under Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana? Obviously, you have seen that the portal that has been created. Portal is having dashboards, and then we have a mobile app that has also been created. Okay, so there is a crop insurance app that has been provided where you can easily enroll yourself or with the help of any person who is knowing the technology properly. You can ask them to work for it. Okay, then you can easily report your crop losses within 72 hours from the occurring here only in the dashboard or in mobile app. Okay, you can raise it and your application number will be created. So this whole Fasal Bima Yojana is using a very state of the art latest technologies of assessing the crop. They will be utilizing satellite imagery services, remote sensing technology, drone, artificial intelligence, machine learning, everything are being all used in order to find out the precise issue of a field, and based on that proper insurance amount will be provided. Okay, then Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana is also helpful in integration with the land records, because once any farmer is providing their data in this Fasal Bima Yojana, so their land record is also get saved over here. So this is also one aspect through which Fasal Bima Yojana is helping us. Okay, then what are the recent changes? Obviously we have seen that the scheme was once mandatory earlier, but after 2020 the central government has changed it to make it optional. Okay, earlier it was mandatory for all loany farmers. That means you have to take this scheme if you have taken loan from the government, or if you have taken loan from the banks or anywhere. Okay, right? So that now it has been removed and government has made this whole scheme a optional scheme. So regarding the average premium subsidy that government is providing, the farmer is paying 1.5% and 2% and 5%, right? Then some other part of the subsidy, some other part of the premium also has to come, right? That is coming from the government. Okay, so the difference between the actual premium rate and the rate of insurance premium payable by the farmer was shared by the state and the center. Okay, so whatever the difference that is coming between the premium that has to be paid and whatever has been paid by the farmer, the difference will be payable, and this will be shared between the state government and the central government. Okay, and further the state and union territory are free to extend any other additional subsidies over above the average subsidy. Okay, so central government in February 2022 they have decided that they will be limiting the premium subsidy to 30% for unirrigated area and 25% to the irrigated area. Okay, from the existing unlimited way. Okay, earlier government was providing unlimited subsidy under that. Okay, now government said that now we will be limiting the subsidy to 30% for unirrigated area. So this is the recent change that has been there. Okay, so previously there was no upper limit was there. Now government has put a cap, that is called, if there is a premium that has been left, 30% for unirrigated area and 25% for the irrigated one will be provided by the central. Okay, now what is the weakness of this scheme? Okay, let's see what is the weakness of this scheme. So if we find out the actual nature, first of all is the implementation issue, because there are a lot of delays in disbursement of the claim that is happening. Okay, because of that it creates a lot of financial instability. Okay, so it undermines the financial stability, or whatever the aim of the scheme that has been provided, it also get hampered. Okay, then awareness and enrollment. Many farmers even don't know that something name of Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana is running somewhere or the other. Okay, so farmers are not even aware of that. You can forget about the enrollment. Okay, so that is why there is a very lower participation rate than whatever is been anticipated by our government. Then the third problem this Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana is facing is the reluctance from the insurance company, because they are showing reluctance because there is a high claim ratio that they are having. Okay, because they are saying that we are paying more and getting less. Okay, the insurance companies are much more reluctant in all this process wherever they have a very high claim ratios that are there. Okay, like if we go for life insurance, if we go for medical insurance, there has a chance that there may be less claim ratio that will be there. Motor insurance, but here in this your Fasal Bima Yojana, they have a high claim ratio and there is a lot of operational challenges that are involved, which further add on to the cost. Okay, so because of that there is a uneven coverage across various parts of the country. Okay, now challenges are, this is the weakness, there are certain challenges are also there. Assessment and claim settlement, that means proper, accurate, timely low crop loss assessment can happen. That is again a very big challenge. If you are dependent on the traditional methods of going and then surveying the field and everything, okay, then it will obviously take the time. Okay, and there is a need for fast adoption of the technology like remote sensing, drones, okay, has to be there. But because they are not adopting these technologies in a faster way, because of that only there is a delay in the proper finding out the assessment of any type of field. Okay, so there is a need to immediately pick up various type of technologies like remote sensing, drones, so that easy and efficient claim settlement can done. Then farmer feedback. There is a lot of reports from the farmer regarding the dissatisfaction among the farmer regarding assessment and settlement process, because the farmer, whatever the farmer is looking for as a assessment and settlement, they are not being done by the insurance company. Okay, So many farmers feel that compensation is not accurately reflecting their losses. It is just like that somebody is coming and taking some part of the measure, and then based on that some mathematical calculation they are doing. Okay, so again farmers have a feedback that the report that has been filed by the insurance agents regarding the compensation is not matching or reflecting the losses. Then financial sustainability. If high level of subsidies are being provided by the central government just to keep the premium at affordable level, okay, so this again raise a question of long term financial sustainability of this whole scheme. Why? Because if government keeps on paying the premium and the difference between the premium, then government will be overburdened by this premium set. Okay, so government will have to set up separate sum. Government has to keep separate sum for providing only premium for the Fasal Bima Yojana. Okay, so this again raises huge questions about long term financial sustainability of that scheme. Now, what are the issue we have already discussed regarding the financial constraint of the states? Okay, then claim settlement issue and implementation issue that we have all studied about that. Okay, and sometimes the state government also find it fail to release the fund on time, again delaying the release of insurance compensation, right? And what about the insurance companies? Regarding the compensation, the role and the power of insurance company is very very high. Okay, there are a lot of cases that are there that even didn't investigate the losses due to localized calamity and did not pay the claim. Even localized calamities are also covered under this insurance, but some cases they have not even done so. Okay, then insurance company have not shown any interest in bidding for the clusters that are prone to crop losses. That means again the insurance company are selecting the clusters and area where the losses are less and where various type of disaster, hail, rain, cyclone, drought are not happening too frequent. Okay, so insurance companies are not showing any interest in bidding for the clusters that are prone to crop losses. That means if any insurance company, why they are going to take, because that is going to be their loss making scenario. Okay, if they are bidding for an area where normally there is a story of various type of crop loss happening after various type of agriculture cycle, so why any insurance company is going to bid over there? Okay, so it is in the nature of the insurance company for entities to make money when crop failures are low. Okay, if crop failures are low, obviously insurance company will earn from premiums. Okay, but if the crop failures are high, then insurance company has to pay from their pocket. Obviously, that is what the contract that has been signed. Okay, so there is a issue of the insurance companies are also not motivated towards this whole process. Now, what is the reforms and suggestions that are there in order to make the situation much more feasible? So under the reform side, we can go for technological integration, more and more crop assessment using with the help of technology, satellite imagery, drones, and because they will be providing us with very accurate and speed of claim settlement process. Okay, during the time of applying for the Fasal Bima Yojana, there should be a satellite imagery photo that has to be created. Then during the time of a crop standing, that satellite imagery photo has to be created, and then after, if any losses are happening, then again the satellite imagery process has to be calculated. Okay, so this is again which will lead to the technological integration. Then awareness campaign, increased awareness, simplifying the enrollment process will obviously increase the participation rate. Now where you can provide these awareness campaign, you can provide them near the mandis, near the market, okay, at these places where the farmers are coming and going. Okay, you can collaborate with the panchayat office, okay, panchayat office, right, local agriculture body, then NGOs, they can all help in this regard regarding creation of awareness and campaign posters, flyers can be also given, banners can be also set up everywhere. Then more and more public private partnership has to be encouraged from the private insurance companies by providing them more incentives if they are doing fair claim settlement process. Okay, provide them with various type of incentives, okay, regarding the regulation and regulatory process and everything. So government can provide them with various type of incentives for better and more for motivating the public private partnership insurance companies and various insurance company who are working in private area to come forward and get into the plan of the government of Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Obviously, when public and private partnership all will come together, automatically it will improve coverage and efficiencies everywhere. Okay. So here you can see we have done a comparison between the previous scheme, NAIS and MNAIS. Okay, NAIS was started in 1999 and MNAIS in 2010. After that, they all being removed and they have been moved from Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Okay, here you can see in NAIS they have a low premium rate, in MNAIS they have a high premium rate. Okay, and here we have a lower than even NAIS. Okay, that means only 1.5 and 2% and 5%. One season, one premium, it is yes. MNAIS, no. Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, yes. Insurance amount cover, full, here capped and here full. Account payment, yes, and in NAIS it is no. What about the localized risk coverage? In NAIS there is no localized risk coverage, but in MNAIS they have hailstorm, landslide, and here in PM Crop, Pradhan Mantri Crop Insurance Scheme, hailstorm, landslide and inundation is also covered. What about the post harvest? In NAIS there is no post harvest insurance you are getting, but in MNAIS, coastal area for cyclonic rain, they will be getting post harvest insurance facility. But in Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, all India for cyclonic plus unseasonal rainfall. Then preventing sowing coverage, NAIS it is no, MNAIS it is yes, and PM Crop it is yes. Use of technology, no, yes, you can do it, but it is in PM Crop it is mandatory. Regarding awareness, nobody must be, most of the farmer don't even know regarding NAIS, MNAIS screen that was going on earlier. But now Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana is being working based on various type of awareness programs. Okay, so the main focus is that they will be doubling the coverage to 50%. Okay, so this is the comparison between the various type of scheme that was previously running and now what is our Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana is going on. Okay, now here you can see launch, administered, 29 crore number of farmers are there who's insured their crops under this scheme till January 2021. 5.5 crore number of average annual registration of farmer, that is average 5.5 crore. 90,000 crore claim disbursed in the last 5 years, that means a good amount of claim has been also given to the farmer. Okay, so regarding the premium story, we have already given you 1.5% for Rabi, 2% for Kharif, 5% for commercial crop and horticulture crops. Okay, then average sum insured is 15,000 before Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. That was the average sum under NAIS and MNAIS. But after Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, average sum insured is 40,700, which is a close to 3 times of the sum that has been insured. Okay, now insurance claim ratio is around 76% in 2018 and 19, and 72 hours has been given to you to report your crop losses. Okay, 72.5 millions of the farmers have benefited from this whole Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Okay, and what is the benefit to the insurance company? 1,25,000 crore rupees premium has been received by the companies, and 90,000 crore claim disbursed by the company. Okay, so there is a profit, a good amount of profit that is there. 35,000 crore rupees profit was there earlier during the last 5 years during the implementation of this scheme. Okay, now this is all for Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Now we are moving towards the next scheme, that is called Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana. Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana. So PM Kisan Samman Nidhi is also a very, very important flagship scheme. So this scheme was launched in 24th February 2019. Focus area was supplementing the financial need of a land holding farmer. Okay, if there is any farmer who is having a land, for them certain money, financial needs can be provided in the form of a regular payment, quarterly payment. Okay, so this scheme was launched by Prime Minister on 24th February 2019. Okay, so where? In Gorakhpur, and he has transferred the first installment of rupees 2,000 each to over 1 crore farmer. Okay, and Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare has awarded the top performing state and district under PM Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana. So what is the financial benefit that you are going to get under this PM Kisan Samman Nidhi? Okay, so every year, every farmer, land holding farmer will be receiving 6,000 rupees from the government. Okay, in equal installment quarterly. That means every 4 month 2,000 rupees. Okay, so in 12 months it is going to be 6,000 rupees. Okay, so every 4 months is transferred to their bank account. The bank account that will be applicable for direct benefit transfer attached to the mobile and Aadhaar. Okay, through direct benefit transfer, this money will be transferred to the farmer, land holding farmer, every 4 months into their direct bank account using the DBT scheme. Okay, so this is the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi portal. Okay, so this is a PM Kisan helpline call number. Okay, and here you can see you can do the registration over here as a new farmer registration, then eKYC and all the things you can do. You can update your data on the portal. Okay, you can update your data on the portal and automatically your data will be verified, and then you will be, if all the things find out to be correctly, you will be added as a farmer over there. Okay, so this scope of the scheme was initially for a small and marginal farmer earlier. Okay, earlier it was only for a small and marginal farmer, that we call it as SMFS. Okay, or any farmer under the small and medium small and marginal farmer who is having land holding up to 2 hectare. But later the scope of the scheme has been extended to cover all land holding farmers. Okay, and before going ahead, we should know that this scheme is central sector scheme. Central sector means 100% funding has to come from the central government. Okay, 100% funding has to come from the central government, and this scheme will be managed by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. Okay, so the objective is that to supplement their financial health. That means if they are facing any type of difficulty regarding their crop, if whether your crop is working properly, if there is having any kind of crop loss, okay, anything like that, so they are going to get additional sum of money from the central government every quarter. Okay, how much? 2000 rupees per quarter or per every 4 months. Okay, so here government is trying to support the financial need of a small and marginal farmer, so that they can go and procure various type of inputs, so that they can grow proper crops, so that proper yield can come. If they have any downsize that is happening because of certain environmental conditions, this money will be also helping in achieving, in trying to solve the problems like that. Okay, this scheme also protect the farmer into falling into the clutches of the money lender. Okay, so for their day-to-day need, daily need of a working need, they do not have to go to the money lender, because now government is providing them with money. Okay, otherwise if they go to the money lender, automatically they have to pay huge interest rate. Sometimes they have a 40 to 45% interest rate they are charging. That means if you have taken from them 1 lakh rupees, okay, then after 1 year you have to pay them 1,40,000 rupees. Okay, so this is how the money lender try to cheat and try to extract the money, and they take the advantage of the conditions of the farmers. That is why farmer are being asked to take loan from institutional sources. Once they are able to get the money from institutional sources, they will be getting at a very reduced interest rate, market rate they will be getting. Now, what is the definition of family under this whole criteria? Okay, so what is the definition of family if we are finding out under the PM Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana? Okay, whenever we say family, a family means there will be a husband, a wife, and minor children. Okay, minor children, so they cultivably, and if they all together cultivably own up to 2 hectares of land as per the land record of the concerned state. Okay, that will be considered as a part of getting PM Kisan Samman Nidhi. Okay, so eligible small and medium farmer has been estimated based on agriculture census. Okay, so agriculture census that has been conducted in 2015-16, and then they have decided on the data for 2018 and 19. So as per this financial year 2018 and 19, there are around 13.15 crore farmers are there. Okay, so due to likely exclusion of certain category of beneficiary of higher economic strata, the total number of eligible beneficiary has been taken as 12.50 crore. That means there has been exclusion that has happened. Okay, there has been exclusion that has happened because they are having some higher economic strata, they are having higher income strata, they are coming under the higher income strata. So these eligible beneficiaries are being taken out, and now if we count like how many farmers are getting this like number of eligible beneficiary is 12.5 crores. Okay, now coming the concept of Aadhaar capturing. What is the meaning of Aadhaar capturing? First of all, you know, whenever we wanted to avail any scheme or benefit of any of the scheme, wherever we go right now in our country, we should have some mandatory documentation which shows your identity. Okay, identity, right? So Aadhaar has been made mandatory over here. Okay, but if you do not have Aadhaar, okay, in case where the beneficiary present are not having Aadhaar or Aadhaar enrollment number, anything. Okay, so there are other alternate prescribed documents are there which you can show, like your ration card or your Manrega job card, like ration card or Manrega job card, etc., etc., which has been approved by the central government, okay, for the verification and identity purpose for any farmer, for which the first installment has been given in 2018 and 19. Okay, so any beneficiary who have not having Aadhaar card will have to compulsorily they have to enroll under the Aadhaar. Okay, because the coming transfers of the Samman Nidhi will be based on the Aadhaar seeded database. That means your account should be Aadhaar seeded. Okay, this is how you are going to work on it. Like, so state and union territory has to make sure that there is no duplication of payment. Okay, there is no duplication of payment transfer to the eligible family, so they have to look forward for any duplication of data. At the same time, they have to remove that data before these money transfer can happen. Okay, and speedy reconciliation in case of wrong or incomplete bank detail of beneficiary. That means if there is any wrong information or if there is any wrong information of bank detail that has been uploaded onto the portal, so a speedy resolution should happen for the beneficiary in that case. That is all related to the Aadhaar capture. Now, monitoring of the schemes. Now, who is going to the monitor? Okay, so the project monitoring unit will be set up at the central level. Okay, because here it is a central sector scheme, so everything has to be managed by the central government. Okay, so Department of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, there will be a project monitoring committee that will be set up under the Department of Agriculture. Okay, then this project monitoring unit will be headed by CEO. Okay, usually maybe a IAS officer. Okay, so this CEO will be undertaking publicity campaign, information, education, communication, and all the decision related to this project monitoring committee. Okay, then stratified review, monitoring and mechanism at national, state and district level. So it is going to district level. District level, maybe they will be putting collector over there. In state government, we have a chief secretary over there. In national level, we can have a project monitoring committee under the CEO that will be there. Okay, so don't worry about that. You just understand like how it has been, the levels have been defined. Okay, so at the national level, there will be a monitoring committee. Okay, there will be a cabinet secretary who will be monitoring at a national level. State government also will be notifying their monitoring committee at the state and the district level. Okay, so that is all depend on the state government, and at the national level there will be a cabinet secretary. Okay, he is the highest officer in the government of India, that is cabinet secretary. Now, there are apps that has been made especially focusing on this Samman Nidhi. Okay, there is a PM Kisan mobile app is there. Okay, which they have made it with the help of Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Sorry, because of certain delays there of a few seconds. Okay, so PM Kisan mobile app that has been developed by the National Information Sector, and there is a compulsion that has been put under this scheme is that mandatory physical verification of at least 5% of beneficiary every year has to be done. That has been there because they have to find it out whether there are no what we call ghost beneficiary should not be there, and those people who are not even eligible, they should not apply for that. So there has to be physical verification. They should go to their places, they could find their families. Okay, they can find their family size also, and they can also find out the size of the land that they are having. Okay, it has to be up to 2 hectare, it has to be there. So these type of physical verification, up to 5% beneficiary every year has to be done. Okay, now who are coming under the exclusion category under this? Okay, so if we go by the exclusion category, these are the following beneficiary who are not eligible under that. First of all is all institutional landholder. That means any institution who is holding any kind of land or something like that, or even they are holding agricultural land, they are not being eligible for this scheme. Okay, and farmer belongs to any one or more than of the following category are also not eligible. Like, if any of a person, whether he or she remain as a farmer or present holding any of the constitutional post. Constitutional post means either you are a judge, either you are a office, either you are a president, prime minister, member, and other member of parliaments are also there. Okay, Lok Sabha member, Raj Sabha member. Okay, anybody who is holding the office of constitutional, like your president, your governor, your chief justice of India, speaker, chairman, deputy chairman, prime minister. So these are not eligible for PM Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana. If they are having any kind of agricultural land, they cannot opt for this scheme. Okay, then former and present minister, state minister, former present member of Lok Sabha, member of parliament. Okay, any member of parliament, whether Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha or like that. Okay, state legislative assembly or state legislative council, former, present mayor, or any chairperson of the district panchayat. So they are not eligible for PM Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana. Okay, then regarding the officer, any person who is serving or who is retired officer, government of central and state government ministries, official department or state public sector enterprises are there. Okay, so autonomous institution under government, regular employment of the local bodies, class 4 group D employees, they are not eligible for PM Kisan Samman Nidhi. Then all superannuated retired pensioner whose monthly pension is rupees 10,000 or more, they are also not eligible for that. Okay, any person who has been superannuated retired person whose monthly pension is 10,000 rupees or more. Okay, excluding multitasking staff, class 4. Here we have a excluding multitasking staff in class 4 and group D employees. So here we have to exclude this. Okay, we have to exclude this. Sorry for that. Okay, here also there is a exclusion that has been given here. This is not allowed, but here in the excluding category, if you have a multitasking staff, class 4 employee or group D employee of the above category, then you are eligible. Then all person who paid income tax in the last assessment year, they are also not eligible to apply for PM Kisan Samman Nidhi. That means if you are paying income tax, that means you have a good amount of income, because as per the income tax slabs, that means you are well above the poverty line and you are also paying the income tax to the government. That means you are not requiring any kind of financial support from the government, right? Then professions like doctor, engineers, lawyer, chartered accountant, architect, then registered with professional bodies or carrying out profession or any type of undertaking practice. So these are all professional body which are not allowed to take the benefit of PM Kisan Samman Nidhi. Okay. Now, what are the details that are being required under the PM Kisan Samman Nidhi? Okay, from the beneficiary. So this is the role, the state has been given the role for preparing the database of eligible beneficiary, landowner holder families, and first of all they have to capture their names, age, gender, category, Aadhaar number. But if Aadhaar number is not there, okay, or have not issued, then Aadhaar enrollment number has to be there together with any other prescribed document. That means they have been asked mandatorily to apply for the Aadhaar. Okay, any prescribed document like driving license, voter ID, Narega job card, Manrega job card, or any identification document that has been released by the central government or the state government or anybody. Okay, bank passbook can also be part of that. Okay, bank account number and mobile number of the beneficiary. So this all has to be taken, because once they are being approved, so their money will be going into the bank account of those eligible farmer beneficiary, because the mobile number will be also there. So this will be mobile Aadhaar seeded mobile number and Aadhaar seeded bank account number has to be there. And if you belongs to any beneficiary who belongs to Assam, Meghalaya or Jammu and Kashmir, where Aadhaar number has not been issued to the most of the citizens, okay, so Aadhaar number shall be collected for those beneficiary which is where it is available, and for other alternate documents can be collected. Okay, and identifying the landholder farmer family for benefit shall be of the state and the union territory government. Okay, so here the state and the union territory government is responsible for finding out the family, eligible family, getting the data of these family. Okay, like that. Now similar programs that are being run by various other government. Okay, so we have various other programs that are being run by the various type of government in our country. So there are three important programs that I wanted to show you. The first program is Bhavantar Bhugtan Yojana. Bhavantar Bhugtan Yojana, right? So it is of the Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so they will be providing relief to the farmer by providing the difference between MSP and market prices. Okay, this is especially where, see again here, market support is being provided. Okay, support is being provided over here like that. Then Raitu Bandhu Yojana, it is of the Telangana government. They are providing rupees 4,000 per acre for every season to all farmer of the state. Okay, and similar initiative is there from Jharkhand and Odisha. Then we have in December 2018, we have Odisha has launched the Krushak Assistant for Livelihood and Income Augmentation, that is called Kalia scheme. Okay, so again this scheme is much more complicated in design. They are trying to provide rupees 5,000 per small and medium farmer twice a year. That means they are going to provide rupees 10,000 to each farmer per year. Okay, so these are some scheme which has been especially being launched by various other state government in order to further supplement the income of the farmer. Okay, this is what one is providing differences in the MSP, one is providing per acre money over there, one is providing rupees 5,000 twice a year to the farmer. In order to get the benefit of that, they can go and buy various type of agriculture implements for their own family needs and everything, right? Okay, now what is the positive effect of PM Kisan Samman Nidhi? So under the positive aspect of this scheme, first and foremost is this is a direct financial assistance scheme that is being provided to the farmers. Correct? Because here direct benefit transfer will be happening. This will be directly going to the bank account of the farmer. There will be no middleman. Okay, so Aadhaar seeded bank account number will be there for a small and marginal farmer. Direct financial support, so they can utilize this money for buying agriculture inputs like seed, fertilizer, equipment, labor, and also for their own family needs. Okay, family needs. Okay, so this is like around providing rupees 6,000 per year, 6,000 per year, and this type of financial support will be also helping in poverty alleviation. गरीबी को ख़त्म करने में भी इस्तेमाल होगा. Okay, because this will be offering a regular source of income. because farmer will be confident that every 4 month I will be getting this 2000 rupees in my bank account. Okay, so he or she can plan for this money. Okay, where they wanted to invest, how much they wanted to save, and all those things. Okay, so this PM Kisan aims to elevate the financial burden on the farmer. Okay, and it will also reduce the rural poverty, and livelihood will increase for the farmer. Then this is a very simplified implementation scheme. It is, there is no complex structure, there is no complex structure that has to be built in order to support this scheme. Okay, so we have a Aadhaar seeded bank account number. So bank account number are being linked with your mobile number and Aadhaar. Okay, and if Aadhaar is not there, you have to enroll for the Aadhaar. Okay, so the beneficiary will get the money directly. There will be reduction in the leakages and corruptions. Okay, there will be reduction in corruption and reduction in the leakages because of the intermediaries that were there earlier. Okay, now whatever the money government wanted to transfer, that is directly going into the bank account of the farmer. Okay, so this shows the kind of a inclusive coverage that they are having. Okay, target is still being small and marginal farmer where land holding is up to 2 hectare. Okay, but later this scheme was expanded to include all farmer family irrespective of their size of land holding. Okay, just because government wanted to increase the inclusivity part of that, so now it has been open to everybody in this part. Okay, every farmer will be getting the support from the government over here. Okay, then economic stimulus. So rural economy boost will happen because whenever any money that is coming, automatically the people try to spend that money on various goods. So this lead to the stimuli for the economic activity. Okay, the people purchasing power will increase higher because of this lead to higher demand of goods and service in the rural area, and automatically there is a boost of rural economy. Okay, there is a boost of rural economy that will also happen over there. But yeah, there are certain criticism that are also being attached to it, is that right now PM Kisan is at a very limited reach. Limited reach means not reaching to all farmers, and there are thousands of small and medium farmers are there who are not even knowing about this scheme. Okay, so government is focusing on increasing the awareness. Okay, so there only 21% of cultivator in UP, Haryana and Rajasthan have reported receive the benefit, with greater exclusion in UP. So there is a good amount of exclusion that is there in the Uttar Pradesh. Not pro poor recipient of PM Kisan were generally better off than the overall rural population, because since the time government has tried to include everybody into the ambit of PM Kisan Yojana, so there is a thinking that this scheme is not pro poor, because most of the poor are not getting the benefit of this scheme, and the people and the rich farmer who are having acres of land are getting better off under that. Okay, then need for evaluation. There is a lot of uncertainties in the scheme regarding reach, targeting, relevance. So there is a need for evaluation on these parameters. Okay, these parameters has to be checked, and after that only the further rollout of the schemes should be implemented. So financial strain during the lockdown. Okay, so there was a survey that has happened which shows that 34% of the farmer household has to borrow for daily needs during the lockdown. Okay, normally they have to borrow from their friends and relatives, and most importantly there is a money lender. So again they goes into the clutches of the money lender, where they high a very high interest rate. Okay, so financial strain yet happened during the lockdown. Then food insecurity. 7% of the farm household face occasional food unavailability during the lockdown period, as compared to 24% casual worker and 14% business household. Now, economic distress and comparison. So, as per the PM Kisan Samman Yojana, PM Kisan recipient, those who are getting the money under the PM Kisan, whether they are farm and non-farm households, are including for both farms and non-farm household, they have shown a lower sign of economic distress. Okay, compared to the non-recipient. Then income losses. 35% of rural PM Kisan recipient experience significant income losses, whereas 50% of non-recipient faced similar losses. Okay, so there is a kind of like good support that has been given, because those who are taking PM Kisan Samman Nidhi, they around out of them 35% has faced a kind of a income losses, and for other recipient 50% of them were there like that. Okay, then slightly more than one third of the PM Kisan recipient borrowed the money during this period, as compared to 48% of non-recipient people. Okay, then household, any household who is receiving PM Kisan benefit are generally better off economically even before the scheme implementation. That means there is no much difference they have got regarding this PM Kisan Samman Nidhi, because they were earlier also, they were most of the some household were still better off during that time, suggesting their relative economic reliance may not be solely attributed to PM Kisan. That means they are totally not dependent on this scheme. They are totally not dependent on this scheme. Then inflation indexing. So there is a need to index cash transfer to local inflation. It is not like that since 4-5 years you are only transferring 2000 rupees. You have to also check inflation in the market. If inflation is getting higher, your 2000 rupees value is slowly getting devalued. So there is a need for inflation indexing in order to beat the market volatility and price fluctuation. Okay, so they have given you some kind of case study. Okay, so there is a direct benefit transfer for kerosene in Rajasthan, as the cash provided was insufficient to cover the increased market price. Okay, so this is just to give an example. Like even government is keep on providing money for kerosene, but the kerosene price becomes so high that they cannot be able to buy with the support that government is providing. Then PM Kisan also lack clear design of cash transfer and effective framework for addressing grievances. Like if there any kind of grievances is there is no proper effective clear cut framework that has been there. Okay, so this has to be further tackled, because if anybody is facing any issue regarding the PM Kisan, they can easily contact the higher authorities under that. Now what is the way forward for it? So what is the way forward under this PM Kisan? How we can make much more effective? How we can make this scheme much more effective? So this scheme can be made much more effective by providing increased financial assistance. Okay, right now there is assistance of rupees 6000 per year being provided, which is sometimes called as insufficient to make any significant differences in the farmer's life. Okay, so based on the inflation indexing, based on the type of market condition, market volatility, this price can be increased in proportional term. Okay, so that amount could better support the farmer financial need and help them invest more in their agriculture inputs and practices. Even try to converge some of the scheme over here, convert some of the scheme where cash transfers are being provided, in order to, so that farmers should get a lump sum amount under this category, so that they are able to make better decision decision. Okay, then improve beneficiaries identification and verification. So there has to be proper database that has to be created, proper identification and eligible beneficiary has to be identified, and the update should keep on happening regarding their land accord, then regarding their Aadhaar linkages. Okay, so the local administration has to put much more and more effort in order to include and in regarding the like to minimize the inclusion and exclusion error. Okay, then regular update is very much needed. Beneficiary database has to be regularly updated, which shows the change in the land ownership and family structure pattern. So this will be like your up-to-date data that you will be having of the farmers. Okay, if you keep on updating the data for years, like 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, then you will be having a refined data of your farmers. Then if you are coming out with any of the scheme, you can utilize this data, because now you have a data and you can easily implement any of the scheme. Okay, then strengthening banking and digital infrastructure. Look, first of all, we have to extend the banking branches in the rural area, like bank branches, ATMs, bank correspondent, BCs. Okay, so that easy access of fund has to be provided to the farmer, and at the same time we have to provide them with proper digital literacy. Everywhere digital literacy has to be promoted. Everywhere it has to be promoted, so that the farmers, anybody can utilize the digital banking services. Okay, and they can access various government service just on the palm of their hand. Okay, now enhancing the awareness and accessibility. Okay, how you can enhance the awareness? By providing various type of information campaigns. Okay, because this campaign information, then you can provide flyers, you can provide with the banners. Okay, you can provide with the posters, okay, about the scheme benefit, then speaker, okay, in the panchayat office. Okay, all this comes under the application process. You can utilize the use of local media tools, including social media, radio, local newspaper, everywhere, to disseminate the information regarding this. Then local support centers can be also created at a village or a block level or a district level, where farmer can get any information or any assistance whatever they wanted to need, and their doubts can be solved over there. Any grievance is there, so it can be redressed over there itself. Then integrate with border agriculture reform. So under this we have to focus on providing assistance. Now integrated with border agriculture reform. So comprehensive support, we have to integrate PM Kisan with other agriculture initiative wherever they are going on. Okay, so that we should work holistically. So there is a need for holistically looking into the whole concept of providing any kind of financial support to the farmer. Okay, so we have to aim at productivity, we have to aim to provide market access, we have to aim for infrastructure development. Okay, so all these things, this could all be included, linking it with some scheme for irrigation, soil health card, crop insurance, or any market reform. So there is a need to properly link various schemes who are more or less working in a same area. Then focus on sustainability. Okay, encourage the adoption of sustainable agriculture practices. Okay, because right now everybody knows that we have a national mission for sustainable agriculture. Okay, for that we have already taken the first video on the agriculture. Okay, so there is a need to provide support and additional incentive or support to the farmer who are adopting environmentally friendly method and practices, who are focusing on diversifying the crop, who are using efficient irrigation techniques like that. So government should provide much more incentive to these type of farmers. Okay, then monitoring and evaluation. Okay, regular monitoring and evaluation has to be done about this PM Kisan Samman Nidhi, and also the impact study also has to be checked. Okay, impact study also has to be checked, and anywhere the bottlenecks are being there, corrective measures can be taken promptly. Okay, then third party audit. So it is said that if you are auditing from the same firm who is providing this scheme, it is not a good idea. So there is a need to do a third party audit outside outside party audit. This will help in ensuring transparency and accountability in proper process of disbursement, and this will obviously address the uh, issue of corruption or any kind of mismanagement that is being there. Then political commitment and stability. So under the political commitment and stability, we have to focus on sustained political will. Okay, we have to ensure that the scheme remain a priority across political circle. It is not like that if one party is there who is coming with certain scheme, again the next party comes, they have removed the scheme and coming with different scheme like that. Okay, there should be a close confidence among the people regarding any scheme related to the farmers. Okay, so that a continuous commitment and successive improvement and enhancement can happen in this scheme. Okay, so farmer should be also sure that yes, whatever the government will be there, I will be getting certain amount of money under this whole hat. Okay, then avoid any kind of political instrumentalization. That means you should not utilize any scheme as an instrumental for your political tool. Okay, you cannot treat any scheme which is focusing on farmer welfare as your political tool. Okay, make sure that whatever the scheme that you are making, it is on to the rights of the farmer and to the further development of the farmer and for the properly poverty alleviation for the farmer. Okay, it is not always looking for the electoral consideration and then you are coming with the scheme. No, electoral consideration should has to be very at the last, but in the starting it has to be the benefit of the farmer that has to be first checked over there. Now, this is all we have done regarding the PM Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana. Now we are moving towards our last scheme today, that is Pradhan Mantri Kisan Man Dhan Yojana, PMKMY. So under PM Kisan Man Dhan Yojana, this scheme was launched by government on 12th of September 2019. Special focus on providing social security to a small and marginal farmer. Okay, when they becomes old after 60-65 years. Okay, when they are not having any means of livelihood, they're not having any saving or no saving or minimum saving, and they do not, nobody is there to take care of them. Okay, so this Pradhan Mantri Kisan Man Dhan Yojana has been specifically launched for that purpose. Okay, so government will be providing a fixed pension of rupees 3,000 under this. Okay, 3,000 rupees. Okay, neither below, neither maximum. Okay, so 3,000 is the minimum fixed pension is being provided. Okay, and yeah, obviously there are certain exclusion criteria also there. Okay, on attaining the age of 60 years, and it is voluntary contributory pension. That means here you have to contribute. Here you have to contribute. It is voluntary. Okay, you have to contribute, and here it is voluntary in nature, and this contribution has to go to the pension fund from the rupees 55 per month to rupees 200 per month. Okay, if you are joining this scheme at a very early stages, 18 years, 19 years, 55 rupees, and if you are joining at a very later stage 40 paisa like that, so you have to pay around 200 rupees per month. Okay, and along with that, the central government will be also contributing in equal amount to your own pension fund. Okay, so what is the rationale behind why this pension scheme came into being? Because two things are there. There is a increasingly distress among the farmer because they are into debt, crop failure, volatile market, so they do not have proper saving. Okay, they do not have proper saving around them, and nobody is there to take care of them, right? And they are also getting, and the second one is aging population. We wanted to provide them with safety net when they are not able to work, not able to work, then they should at least get some amount of money to take care of them. Take care of them. It is like a pension. We wanted them, they should get it. Okay, because the farmers belongs to the non-formal category, they are not getting any type of formal pension, so government has come up with a scheme that is called Pradhan Mantri Kisan Man Dhan Yojana. Okay, so here you have to contribute, right? Now, what are the salient feature? Obviously, you have to find out this is a voluntary scheme. Voluntary contributory scheme is there, and the entry age is 18 to 40 years. Okay, at the age of 18 you can start paying your premium, and 40 is the last stage where you can enter. But if you become 41 or 42, you cannot apply for this scheme. So between these two age category, between these two age, if you are, you will be able to apply for this scheme, and a monthly pension of rupees 3000 you will be getting once you have attained 60 years of your age. Okay, here the farmer will make a contribution of rupees 55 to rupees 200. Okay, based on their age, in which age they are entering that place. Then the central government will make equal contribution, and the spouse will be able to get a separate pension of rupees 3000 upon making a separate contribution to the fund. Okay, that means along with the farmer, if the spouse is also making the contribution, like if the farmer is making the contribution of 55, okay, if the farmer is of 18 years and his or her wife is also 18 years and she is also making the contribution of 55, okay, so after attaining the age of 60, both of them will be getting rupees 3000 as a pension. Okay, and LIC has been made the pension fund manager and responsible for pension payout over here. Okay, and if there is any unfortunate incidents that has happened, is like farmer died before the retirement date. Okay, before 60 years, the spouse may continue the scheme by paying the remaining contribution. That means if the farmer is there who died at an age of 55 years, okay, then a spouse can contribute to this scheme and till the remaining age of the deceased farmer. Okay, so the spouse can continue the scheme by paying the remaining contribution till the remaining age of the deceased farmer. Okay, this is how you are going to pay forward for it, right? Then if the spouse does not wish to continue, then whatever the total contribution made by the farmer along with the interest will be paid to the spouse. And if there is no spouse, then the total contribution along with the interest will be paid to the nominee. Nominee has to be made over there compulsory. If the farmer dies after the retirement age, the spouse will receive 50% of the pension as family pension, even if the spouse has not contributed. Okay, if the farmer dies after the retirement age, the spouse will be keep on receiving 50% of the pension as family pension. That is 1500 rupees as family pension. And after the death of both farmer and spouse, the accumulated corpus will be credited back to the pension fund. Okay, So here the beneficiary may opt voluntarily to exit the scheme after a minimum period of 5 years of the regular contribution, and after they exit, on the exit, their entire contribution shall be returned by the LIC with the interest. Okay, then any farmer, just now we have studied about the PM Kisan scheme, any farmer who is also a beneficiary of PM Kisan will have an option to allow their contribution debited from the benefit of the scheme direct. That means you are getting your 2000 rupees quarterly in your bank account of PM Kisan. Now if you have given any permission that okay, debit this amount of money from my account for this pension scheme, so here the farmer has option to allow for that. Okay, and in case of default in making regular contribution, that means if you are doing any default in regular contribution, the beneficiary are allowed to regularize the contribution by paying the outstanding due along with the interest. That means if you are paying for 2 years, but after 2 years you have not paid for 6 months, so you have a chance that you can pay for this whole 6 months whatever the amount is there, outstanding amount, plus interest also you have to pay. Then your scheme will again start working from there itself. Okay, now what is the need for a significance of this scheme? So you know, it is expected that at least 10 crore labor and workers in unorganized sectors are there in our country. Okay, so will avail the benefit of the scheme within the next 5 years, making it one of the largest pension scheme in the world. Okay, so small and marginal farmers are there who is having a cultivable land up to 2 hectare as per the land record, and age is 18 to 40. So this is the age group in which you have to enter into that scheme. Okay, so this is how you have to focus on. Like if you know any of the farmer, you can just guide them and ask them that they can join and go there and join this scheme. This is very good pension scheme for unorganized sector workers. Okay, so here you can see this is a list. Like if you are joining at a age of 18 and the retirement age is 60, so your monthly contribution will be 55 rupees. Okay, and central government will contribute 55 rupees and the total contribution will be 110. Okay, so as your age goes on increasing, 1 minute, as your age goes on increasing from 18 to 40, you can see here the premium per month, sorry, the monthly contribution, sorry, not premium, monthly contribution is also increasing by certain amount. Okay, so it starts from 55 and it is coming till 200 rupees per month. Okay, so if you are joining the scheme at a age of 40, then every month you have to pay rupees 200, and similarly government of India will be also paying 200 on your behalf, and total monthly contribution will be 400 for this scheme. So this is how the scheme is going to function. I hope I have made myself clear with this diagram. Everybody understood that. So it starts from 18 years and it ends at 40 years. Okay, it ends at 40 years. After that you cannot join this scheme. Now who are the farmers who are not eligible for this scheme? There are various type of categories of farmers are there who are not eligible. Okay, so any small and medium farmer who is covered by any other social security scheme like NPS or EPFO or anything, so they are not being allowed under this scheme. Any farmer who has opted for Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana, which is administered by Ministry of Labour Employment. Any farmer who has opted for Pradhan Mantri Laghu Vyapari Mandhan Yojana. Okay, again that is being installed by Ministry of Labour and Employment. So if you belongs to any of these category, you are not allowed and you are not eligible for this scheme. Okay, now further there are certain exclusion categories are there of higher economic status shall not be eligible for the benefit. Okay, any institutional landholders are there, they are not eligible. constitutional port, the way we have done in Pradhan Mantri PM Kisan Yojana. Okay, so under that, a minister, a member of parliament, MP, MLA, then Lok Sabha member, then district panchayat chairman, chairperson, municipal corporation, any person who is serving as government officer, government department, ministries, or public sector undertakings, and various other things, excluding multitasking staff, class 4 and group D employee. Okay, all person who has paid income tax in the last year are not allowed. Professions like doctor, engineer, lawyer, chartered accountant, architects are also not allowed. Okay, so this is what the exclusion list under which this is not being allowed, and so government has made it clear that only the real beneficiary should take part in this scheme. Now, what is the strength of this scheme? So, strength have various things. First of all, this scheme is trying to bring inclusivity, because it is always small to SMF, a small and medium farmer across country. Okay, so there is a widespread coverage everywhere. Then there is a government backing, so there is a strong backing and funding from the central government, which further adds the credibility and reliability to the scheme, because government is providing similar support under this scheme. Okay, same contribution as you are doing. Then portability, farmer who moves to the different state or a region, they can still get the benefit without losing any of the contribution. It is not like that your land is there, you are a farmer, obviously you are paying the contribution to this scheme, you are moving to certain other places, but you are still paying the money for the contribution for this scheme. So this is portable. Then easy to contribute, flexible monthly contribution are there based on the age and the financial capacity of the farmer. So anybody, for everybody is accessible, minimum 55 rupees, maximum 200 rupees per month. Okay, so this is not so much very high money which nobody can pay. Okay, and death benefits are also there, like if any of the beneficiary or any farmer who die before the age of 60, their spouse will be getting around 50% of the pension as a family pension. This is also a added benefit. Okay, it is not like that you will not be able to get pension since your husband has not completed full pension amount. Okay, 50% of your pension you will be getting as a family pension. So what are the weaknesses of Pradhan Mantri Kisan Man Dhan Yojana? Okay, sorry, 1 minute. Yeah, so under the weakness part, there is a limited financial literacy, because since this scheme belongs to the farmer, there is a very less literacy to the farmer, because farmer are not even knowing that this kind of scheme is running in our country. Okay, and sometimes the farmer, whenever any contribution has to be made by the farmer is of the understanding that there might be some kind of a scam also, he or she can be considering. Okay, so there is a lack of trust in the scheme from the farmers side. Then inadequate outreach program, so there is a insufficient outreach and educational programs are there, which are not being launched in a proper way. They should provide much more outreach program, go to provide educational program in the panchayat office, district office, to the rural area and various other places, in order to express various benefits and procedure related to this scheme and make them understand what it is going to be for you. Then limited benefit period, so the benefit start only at the age of 60. Till then it has only contribution. Okay, till then only contribution is there. So farmer will be very very apprehensive that if some farmer is facing any kind of financial distress, and during that time he or she may be asked to put money under the Mandhan Yojana for getting pension in the future. Okay, so again this is again creation a kind of a confusion among the farmer. Okay, then complex opt out mechanism. Okay, so once you are enrolled, the process of opting out or alter contribution is a cumbersome and not user friendly. And yeah, there is a potential of misuse is also there, because if proper checks and proper control is not being required, so there may be potential misuse, where ineligible individual may also enroll by showing them as their by showing themselves as the farmer. Maybe they may not be farmer, they may not be agricultural land, but they can make some kind of fake documents, and then they can also apply for that and start for a pension scheme from here. Okay, so there is a need for proper looking under this whole process. Now what is the threat associated with it? Now, if we go by the threats, there are a lot of threats are there, like administrative overhead. Because whenever you are putting any scheme, okay, you are putting yourself under the high administrative cost, because you have to manage the administrative costs attached to it that. Okay, and obviously it will also eats away with the funds that is meant for the beneficiary, and because of that obviously there is a reduction in the scheme efficiencies, right? Then policy change. If in the future there is any political leadership or policy direction changes, if that are happening, okay, it can lead to abrupt change in the scheme structure or funding. Okay, so there is no guarantee that the scheme will be running so smoothly in the coming future, also because there is a sudden changes in the government, and government may decide what they have to run after that. Okay, then economic volatility. Under the economic volatility, economic downturn, or any fiscal deficit, it may lead to reduced government contribution or delay in disbursement. So because during the COVID-19 pandemic and various type of like during the time of war, during the time of spread of diseases or any cyclone or anything where government is feeling a downturn, where government is having a lot of financial fiscal deficit, there is a chance that it will reduce government contribution, and it will also reduce a delay in disbursement. Okay, then climate change and impact. So there is an increased frequency of climate related disaster. This may heighten the financial instability of the farmer. Okay, making the scheme benefit inadequate. Okay, because if there is too much disaster that is happening, and there is a height of the financial instability in the farmer, so this much of amount will not be sufficient to cope up with the farmer. Okay, some people say that at least something is better than nothing, but yeah, we have to also find it out that whether they are getting proper support or not. Okay, then fraud and corruption. Obviously there are a lot of fraudulent enrollment and misappropriation of fund will happen if there is no proper monitoring and auditing mechanism put in place. There has to be put a strong and stringent monitoring and auditing from, otherwise there is always a chance of having a fraudulent enrollment and misappropriations of the fund. Okay, now what are the opportunities that we are looking in this whole process? Okay, obviously in this part we are looking for technological integration, because with the help of mobile data and various type of apps, we can find it people to do easy enrollment and management of the accounts. So technological integration is very very important if we are working on any scheme where we are dealing with the cash transfer and everything, because technology will be mapping each and every one from end to end. Okay, we will be having data, we can verify the people and everything over there. Then we have a public private partnership also has to be there, where for various type of outreach and promotion of the program, like with the help of banners, with the help of flyers, with the help of speaker mics. Okay, we can chip in our NGOs and various other support institution in order to spread about this scheme. Then periodic adjustment has to be also done. Okay, pension amount has to be periodically adjusted based on the inflation, so that people should opt for scheme, because otherwise it will not remain attractive. If inflation is very high, what is the purpose of getting 3000 rupees after at the age of 60, where the inflation is already crossed all the boundaries? Okay, the 3000 rupees will not even account for 1500 rupees in the coming future, right? So there has to be adjustment that has to be done based on the inflation, so that your scheme becomes much more attractive. And then skill development and program, make sure that there should be integrating skill development and training program for elderly farmer to supplement their income. That means if there is an elderly farmer who are simply sitting at their home, so allow them to do various type of exercise, various type of training, so that they can supplement their income by simply they cannot go to fields, so let them do the work which they can do by sitting at their home or any training institute or various, so they can supplement their skills. Training can be provided, and with this they will be able to supplement their income. And then policy synergy, make sure that your agriculture policies and schemes also provide holistic support to the farmer, proper pension, proper support mechanism, proper policy support. Everything should work in a integrated way, in a integrated way. Then only it is going to helpful for the farmer, for which this whole concept has been devised. Okay, so guys, this is all for today. I hope all of you have enjoyed the session. Thank you so much. Bye bye, take care and have a good day. I will be coming out with the next session. Bye bye.